Alrighty, week 9 of the NFL season is essentially in the books. Another great week of football that we had here. I'm going to go ahead and break it down starting at Thursday Night Football. Then going to go all the way through to where we currently are at the moment. So if you look at the Thursday Night Football game, Rams-Dolphins, my biggest takeaway from it would be that the Ravens still have a shot to win that AFC North division. I think when you put Lamar Jackson in that offense, they are a really powerful unit. Now, the Dolphins are just terrible right now. It was a good call to fire their GM. I understand them keeping McDaniels. I think McDaniels is a good coach. I just believe that there's certain tendencies that he needs to get better at. Potentially team building might be one. But at the same time, the GM builds the team. So I would have kept Mike McDonald through the rest of the year as well. I think it's the right play. But the Dolphins showed that they got a little bit more kick to them as well. Moving on to the Sunday slate of games here, we'll start with what was a thriller between the Bears and the Bengals. Absolute thriller. Joe Flacco throws for 470 yards. He's over 40. He's throwing for 470 yards. That is absolutely ridiculous. T. Higgins has an insane game, 7 catches, 121 yards, and the Bengals were down massively at points in this game, and there was at one point there was a pick six, and it looked like the Bears were going up by 3 scores. Then all of a sudden gets taken back. The Bengals get some touchdowns late, and Caleb Williams finally is able to do something heroically and throws this ball to Loveland. He breaks the tackle, gets into the end zone, and the Bears actually find a way to win in the spectacular. And they beat the Bengals in an absolute shootout, 47-42. Great game. Game of the week, without question. Bengals recovered an onside. It was really impressive. Next up, you had the big shocker, the Vikings and the Lions. And the Lions in this game just didn't really play that up to standard. Gibbs didn't play that well. I thought J.J. McCarthy actually looked pretty good, and that's surprising just after missing all that time and how he looked early in the year, but he looked pretty decent against this Lions team, and the Vikings pull the upset. Another upset occurred with the Green Bay Packers. The Packers just inconsistent at times. Then you have the Panthers. It's a team where I really don't know what to do with them. I actually had this game being decently close in my predictions, and I did pretty good on my predictions for this week. When Seattle wins this game, I'll be sitting at 10-3, so that's a pretty solid week for me. And I had the Panthers coming really close to beating the Packers. Of course, I didn't take them, but if you look at it, they had been able to do a lot of things late in games, and the Packers just looked really bad in this game, and the Panthers get a big win. Chargers versus Titans. Chargers look bad. If Joe Alt misses significant time, they're done. They cannot get through good playoff teams without Joe Alt. So that's going to be a thing that they need to fix. Their run game right now, I know they have a lot of injuries, but it's absolutely abysmal. So the Chargers are going to have to figure something. And a lot of it's health. If they would have stayed healthy this year, you're talking about a really solid team. Moving on, you had the Falcons and the Patriots. And the Patriots were really rolling in this game early, and they almost gave it away towards the end. The Falcons finally kind of gelled to something, but Patriots hold on. And if you look at it, Falcons is kind of like what happened, sitting at 3-5 right now. Season's kind of in shambles, and this is where they are right now. Patriots 7-2. And I remember I predicted that they'd win 10 games this year. I didn't think that they'd start 7-2. It's a great start for the New England Patriots and a great win streak for my prediction. Moving on, you had the 49ers and the Giants. The 49ers really dominated this game through and through. I think the Giants are kind of a different team without Scadaboo. I thought he had a lot of energy for them. If you look at it, the Giants are more injury-riddled than they've been in quite some time. Neighbors is out. You have Scadaboo out now. 49ers have a lot of injuries too, but they're slowly but surely getting a little more healthy. I think Mac Jones is your guy. If you're the 49ers, I personally think that him and Purdy are about the same when it comes to quarterback. You might call me crazy for that, but I think they're the same. He might even be better, Mac Jones, in Kyle Shanahan's offense, but that's going to be a story for another week. All I know now is the 49ers are 6-3, and they get a 34-24 win over the Giants. Moving on to what I thought was another shocker, the Steelers beat the 7-1 Colts. Colts moved to 7-2. I still think the Colts have one of the best rosters, but that Steelers defense finally came alive. It looks like they had been waiting for them to come alive. Jonathan Taylor was limited today. 14 carries, 45 yards. That's his worst game of the year by far. So whatever they did, they were able to figure it out. Aaron Rodgers has been really sustainable for them, and they got a huge victory in this game, 27-20 over the Colts. Next up, you had the Broncos and the Texans. The Broncos illustrate another fourth quarter comeback. They're the fourth quarter team right now. They're the cardiac kids. They keep coming back from these deficits going in the fourth quarter and find a way to win. They get a walk-off field goal. Notable thing from this game, C.J. Stroud is sidelined now with a concussion. Davis Mills had to finish the game, but Bo Nix has showed me a lot. The numbers don't scream off the page at all, but he is definitely a franchise quarterback for them, and I think it's pretty clear. Moving on, you had the Jaguars and the Raiders, and this was actually a great game. This is an overtime game. The longest field goal in NFL history of 68 yards was hit in this game as well from a kicker that's kind of been inconsistent. Travis Etienne played well. So all around, it was a pretty good game for two teams that are kind of even. And it's weird because one of them is 5-3, one of them is 2-6 where they should be. So it's odd, but the Jags get a win. I don't carve out that many more wins for the Jags, but you never know how it plays out. They get a nice overtime victory, 30-29 over the Raiders in Las Vegas. Next up, you have the Saints and Rams. Not much to say about this game. The Rams dominated through and through. They're starting to look really good. Puka Nacua did have a chest injury at one point in this game, but I don't think it's that serious. Believe he returned, so they should be in good shape. The Saints, they just don't have the personnel. I say it every week. They just don't have the personnel right now. Then you go to the Chiefs and the Bills game, and I thought Mahomes was really rushed in the pocket. The O-line played really bad for the Chiefs, and that's kind of been the story of them in big games. And the Bills just exploited it. I figured the Bills at home with Josh Allen, potentially one of the last big games in that stadium of theirs. So I expected the Bills to win this game. This score doesn't really surprise. This is very similar to the score that I predicted, 28-21. It's very similar. So I thought the Bills would win. The Bills did win. James Cook has been incredible this year. Dalton Kincaid had 101 yards in this game. Josh Allen, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing. So they played really well. Now, can they beat them in the playoffs? Probably not. That's just been the reoccurring thing. But in these regular season games, they can win. But a thing to keep of note, the Chiefs do have 4 losses at this point. So it's something to keep in mind at this point. And right now you have Seattle playing Washington, and Seattle's thumping them. At the time of this recording, it's 28-7. So you can pretty much bookmark a Seattle win, which would put me at 10-3 at that point. Best week in a while, which is good. And then we'll go on to a preview for Monday Night Football. You have the Cowboys and the Cardinals. I expect the Cowboys to win in this one pretty easily. With that, that's going to do it. I'm going to be dropping my Week 10 picks on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as usual.